I'm Sheriff Sadie Darnell of Alachua County, and I also manage the jail under contract with the Board of County Commission. I have been sheriff for now over 13 years, and I have learned a great deal about management of a county jail. One thing I want to share with you to make certain that everyone knows that I have an absolutely zero policy, zero tolerance policy for anyone abusing an inmate. We're a county jail. Most of the inmates within the jail are family members, friends, people that live here in our county. I'm charged with their care, custody, and control. I've got a top-of-the-line jail. It's professionally accredited at the highest level. Everything we do, it has oversight, documentation, and is done straight up. I am concerned and bothered by some of the inaccuracies that have been put out on social media, so I'm doing this piece here to answer some of those questions that even warrant being answered. And that has to do most recently with detention officer Jerome Ulrich. He was accused of committing a battery on an inmate back in April, the end of April, April 28th to be exact. It happened about 11 o'clock p.m. The following morning around 9 o'clock, the inmate reported it to another detention officer who was on day shift. That detention officer provided the grievance form to the inmate and also got him over to the infirmary to be checked out within the hour. On social media, it has been alleged that there have been rampant abuses, primarily battery against an inmate at inmates at the jail. As a course of conduct. That is absolutely not true. In the entire year 2019, we had one incident of detention officer battery on an inmate. Now that's more than I want, more than I care for, but that was handled very appropriately. That employee was investigated, had charges filed on them through the state attorney's office, criminal charges, and then from an administrative standpoint, that component that was within my control, that employee was terminated. In 2020, we've had two incidents. One involved a white male detention officer on a white male inmate. I say that just to clarify and address some of the issues that seem to be making this a racially motivated situation. It is not. The inmate made a complaint through the grievance form. It was properly looked into, and the detention officer did not have criminal charges filed. That was a decision made by the state attorney, but he was terminated by me. The most recent one, and the one that has gotten the most attention, and understandably so, is former detention officer Jerome Ulrich. I spoke to some of those details earlier. He has had criminal charges filed against him for misdemeanor battery, as well as a felony charge of tampering with a witness. His case just got filed last week because of a physical arrest that was made on Friday about 4:30 in the afternoon in an adjacent county. There have been some reports on social media that they can't find the records in the Alachua County Court's website. Well, you can't find it there because it was filed in Levy County. So take all the information you see on social media with a small piece of a grain of salt, because most of it is not true unless you see the accompanying factual documentation. I'm going to turn it over now to Major Cloutier to address some of the allegations having to do with poor food quality and other things within the operation of the jail.
Our food service is contracted with Aramark. We've had Aramark as our food service supplier for several years, or many years. They're a food service supplier nationwide. Aramark Corporation is a national company. They've provided food service operations to the University of Florida, hospitals, and many jails and other government organizations and private organizations throughout the country. Our food service operation is inspected quarterly by the Department of Health. It's also the diets and the regular diets and special diets are reviewed quarterly by either a dietitian and/or our on-hand medical staff. Special diets are considered for any inmate that has a medical need. Our facility's been accredited by the Florida Corrections Accreditation Commission since 1999. We are now getting ready to have another inspection this year. That is an assessment that brings in outsiders to come in and review our operations from across the state. It's organized by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Again, it's a commission is established in the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and this will be our 7th reaccreditation. We've been accredited since 1999. We're currently looking at our 7th reaccreditation, and it oversees 260 different standards regarding operation of the facility, and it spreads the gamut. Food service is covered, Medical is covered, grievance procedures are covered, sanitation, security are covered, recreation, privileges. The whole entirety of jail operations are reviewed, and of course the report is sent to the Commission. The Commission, again, is overseen by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and the Commission reviews our inspection, and then they vote as to whether or not our organization or agency gets accredited or re-accredited in this case. I don't expect we'll have any issues this year. We're above board, and we're willing to, we're willing to do everything the right way for the right reasons. I have a lot of pride in the service that we've provided to the inmates specifically, because that's our primary, those are our customers. And it sounds funny, but it is. And I have, again, we do our best to take care of everybody because they have families, and we want them to leave whole. We do our best to make sure they leave whole.